Challenges versus instant funded accounts. Which one is the best for you? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly the differences and similarities between Top 1 Futures challenge model as well as instant funded model. So without wasting any time, let's get to it. So this is the challenge model that we are used to now with a lot of the platforms out there, right? So there's an aspiring trader with little to no personal capital. He joins a platform like Top 1, for example, and he pays, right? There's a fee there. He pays a certain fee and chooses an account size. That account size could vary anywhere from $25,000, $50,000, and so on. Now, after that, he pays for that challenge, right? So it is a challenge that he's paying for. Now, the question is, does the trader pass the challenge or not? If the trader does not pass the challenge, if it fails the challenge, then we go back to paying a fee, choose an account size, and we have to restart over that challenge, okay? But in the best case scenario, let's say the trader does pass that challenge, he or her is provided with a funded account, okay? Now, they do have to pay a fee to activate this funded account as well, okay? So there's a fee you pay for a challenge just to show them, hey, you're a good trader. And then there's another fee that you pay to activate your funded account. What are the results on your funded account? Let's say you hit your maximum loss limit, right? And you fail. You have to go back to the challenge, pay the fee again, and have to restart this process all over again, okay? But let's say you do make money on this funded account. If the trader makes profit, and let's say you decide to withdraw those profits, Top 1 gets 10%, and then you get 90%, okay? So this is the elite challenge model that Top 1 Futures has, and this is the same model that most of the platforms out there already have had in place for the past few years. But there's a new model, okay? There's a different model that Top 1 Futures has in place, and that's called Instant Sim Funded Model, okay? So let's start from the top here. As you can see, a lot of things got deleted because it's a little bit simpler. So again, the same trader, aspiring trader, little to no personal capital, joins a prop firm like Top 1 Futures, pays a fee, okay? And then he chooses an account size, and that funded account is activated, okay? There's no challenge. The trader skips the challenge, skips the activation fee, right? That is included in this initial fee here. It's a one-time fee that the trader pays. He chooses what account size he wishes to trade on, and then he activates that funded account, okay? The challenge is skipped. And then the rest of the process is similar, right? So what happens on the funded account, if you hit your maximum loss limit, you restart the process all over again. But in this case, you just restart the funded account one more time. And then if you do make profit, the profit split is 10% for Top 1 Futures, and then 90% you get. Okay, so as I said, a little bit more simpler just to get that funded account. So this way traders can focus more on their funded account rather than wasting time and energy passing challenges that do not lead anywhere. So let's talk about similarities first because there's a lot of them, and then we're going to go into differences as well, okay? First off, add-ons at checkout. So add-ons at checkout are going to be remaining the same. So if you want to remove your daily loss limit, you can still purchase the no daily loss at checkout for a 25% increase on the price. And then if you want to request a payout as soon as you reach your consistency target, you can still purchase the anytime payouts at checkout for 15%, okay? Keep this in mind. Even though you still do have these add-ons, with an instant funded account, this is a one-time fee compared with an elite challenge, right? You are paying these add-ons monthly until you do pass the challenge, okay? So just keep that in mind. Maximum number of contracts allowed stays the same. So if you look at this table here, 25,000 account is 1 mini, 10 micros. $50,000 account, 5 minis, 50 micros. $100,000 account, 10 minis, 100 micros. And then $150,000 account, 15 minis, 150 micros, right? So they stay the same from the challenge funded account to the instant sim funded account. Maximum drawdown still trails at the end of the day only, okay? And locks $100 above your starting balance. So any type of account that you do choose to open with Top 1 Futures will have an end of the day maximum drawdown, okay? If you don't know how that works, here's a little graph explaining that. So let's say you choose a $150,000 account. As you can see, the more money you make, the more your maximum drawdown trails up with you, right? But as I said, it only calculates at the end of the day. So whatever you're doing intraday doesn't really matter that much, right? So it only looks at what the closing balance is, and then it trails up for the next day. And as you can see, it does stop trailing once this maximum loss limit has hit $100 above your initial balance, in this case, $150,000 and $100. Okay, Top One Futures does have an advantage over a lot of the other funding companies because it calculates, as I said, this maximum drawdown end of day. Careful out there. There are a lot of companies which will give you end of day on the challenges, right? And then will give you a trailing intraday on the funded account. Top One Futures does not do that. So whatever you're choosing, whether that's a funded account from the elite challenges, whether that's an instant sim funded account, it will be end of day. Payout policy does stay the same as well. So payout policy for Top One Futures, you will receive 100% of the profits from the payouts up to your first $20,000. After receiving the first $20,000 of funds, the profit split will become 90-10. If you remember that image that we talked about a few moments ago, with the trader receiving 90% of the payouts and Top One retaining 10% of the requested payout. You can request a payout every 14 calendar days. Okay, it's calendar days, not trading days. So that's around 10 trading days there. Or anytime if you purchase the anytime payouts at checkout. Again, keep in mind this anytime means after you have hit your consistency target, right? Here's a quick example. If you do choose a $150,000 instant sim funded account, once you take your first payout, your maximum loss limit will automatically move to your $150,000 and $100 over. Okay, keep this in mind. It will, no matter what your maximum loss limit is at the time you take your payout, it will move to this number. There is a minimum payout percentage that a trader can withdraw, which is 2%. Okay, on any account that you do choose. So in this example, that would be $3,000. That is the minimum you can withdraw with Top One Futures on this $150,000 account. Okay, if you want to withdraw smaller amounts, I would recommend you choosing the smaller account balances, right? So $25,000 account, maybe a $50,000 account, and so on. On top of that, we do also have a maximum payout amount. Okay, $5,000 per payout per account is on the $150,000 accounts. If you have 3 of them, that's basically $15,000 per payout. This is removed when you get called up to the live markets, which I think is pretty cool. Next similarity here, number of sim funded accounts allowed still remains at 3. So no matter if you have 3 funded accounts that you got from the elite challenges or 3 sim funded accounts, right? It's only 3. You can mix and match, right? You can have 1 sim funded account instant, right? And then you can have 2 sim funded account that you got from the challenges. All you need to know is you can only have up to 3 funded accounts active at any point in time. The 14-day inactivity rule remains the same, right? So you need to take a trade at least every 2 weeks, right? On each account. Path to live does stay the same as well. So you might get called up to live after 3 successful payouts on a sim funded account. Keep this in mind. It has to be on one account. If you have a payout on one sim funded account and then you have another on another sim funded account, it does not count towards these 3 successful payouts. It has to happen on one account. Differences, okay? Those were the similarities. Let's go into the differences just so you guys can see, okay, which one would work best for you. We will start with differences with a check mark here at the top. Basically, that means good, right? So basically, where a instant sim funded account wins over a funded account that you get from a challenge. So first off, basically, you get to skip the challenge, right? So you get funded straight away. So this way, your profits start counting towards your payouts from the very beginning, okay? Price, obviously, there will be a difference in the price. So let's go over that. I made a quick table for you guys here. So let's start from the top left here. So the Elite Challenge monthly fee after you use the TLKV code. Okay, so you can use that code, guys, in the checkout for 50% until the end of April here. That would give you $34.50 on the $25,000 account, then $49.50, $99.50, and $149.50 all the way up to the $150,000 account. Okay, now there will be an activation fee once you do pass these challenges, and that would be $149 for each account, right? So it doesn't matter. So the true cost to funding for 1 month, so let's say you do pass the challenge in 1 month, the true cost to funding for a $25,000 account is $183. If it takes you 2 months, $218. If you were to go instant funded though, right, there's a one-time fee, right? There's no activation, no monthly. It's a one-time fee. If you use my code, it will be $199. right? So as you can see, it's in the middle between 1 month and 2 month, right? So it's more expensive than the 1 month. It's cheaper than the 2 month. Basically, the decision should be yours, right? Are you confident that you can pass the challenge within the first 30 days? If yes, obviously going through a lead challenge is cheaper. But if it takes you more than 30 days, going instant funded will be the more cheaper route. So then if we go to the $50,000 account, true cost of funding for 1 month, it's $198. 2 months, it's $247. And then instant funded, it's $299. $100,000 account, true cost of funding for 1 month is $248. 2 months, $347. And then instant funded, $349. $150,000 account, true cost of funding for 1 month is $298. 2 months, $447. And then instant funded is $399. There is a higher maximum drawdown in some accounts. So as you can see, there is a little bit of a premium when it comes to these bigger accounts. You do get a higher maximum drawdown, right? So you do have more room for error because you're basically getting a better value for your dollar there. So here are the differences. For the $25,000 account, it stays the same at $1,000. $50,000 account, it stays the same at $2,000. And then the bigger accounts do have differences. So the Elite Challenge and the funded accounts that you get from the Elite Challenges, it's going to be $3,500, and it's $500 more if you go instant funded. And then for the $150,000 accounts, it's $5,000 for the Elite Challenges, and the sim funded accounts you get from the Elite Challenges, and it's $6,000, right? So $1,000 more if you go instant funded. Difference is with a cross, with a red cross, as you can see there, there's only one difference that is negative, and that is the consistency target. The consistency target goes down to 20% versus a 25% consistency target you do get on a sim funded account from a challenge, okay? What does that mean, right? So how does that translate? No single day profit should exceed 20% of the trader's total profits over a given time. So if you take your biggest day P&L, you divide that by 0.20, it gives you the total balance needed before you can take a payout. Another way to do that, if you have a $150,000 account, if you are trying to go for that minimum payout request, which is $3,000, you can just do the math backwards here. So $3,000 times 0.2 equals $600. Okay, that is what your biggest end of day P&L should be in order for you to get your first payout as soon as possible. Okay, and if that makes sense to you, that is basically about 5 trading days. Okay, 5 trading days for you to get your first payout on a sim funded account. That is 1 day over a sim funded account you get from a challenge. But if we really look at it closely, right, basically it takes you 5 days to get a payout, or at least 5 days to get a payout on an instant sim funded account. For a challenge account, right, it's similar, right, because it's going to take you at least 1 day to pass it and at least 4 days to get a payout. So 5 days is the minimum on both. It's really up to you, right? But if we're talking about number of trading days, it should be the same on both. The consistency rule will reset after every payout, okay, and will be calculated based on the new trading profits made after each payout. I am going to link the consistency rule calculator that I did a few videos ago on this video, just so you guys can see how the differences will be compared to a 20 versus a 25% with your calendar, with your own profits. Does it make sense, right? So does getting an instant sim funded account make sense? I feel like this is the question that you might be asking yourself and why you decided to watch this video in the first place. So let's actually get to it. Let's go through the math. So what is the true cost to a sim funded account? An Elite Challenge will cost you $149.50 for a $150,000 account, right? If you use the TLKV, right, Trade Like KV code there, that should be the price. Now, after you successfully pass the challenge, you'll have to pay another $149 activation fee, right? If you remember from the table comparison we made a few moments ago, we have to pay that $149 activation fee. That brings the total cost at $298.5, considering that you pass in 30 days, right? And you don't get rebuilt. But if you do get rebuilt and it takes you 2 months to pass the challenge, it will cost you $448, okay? So that's if you take the challenge and then get funded through the challenge. Now, if you take an instant sim funded account, it will cost you $399 using the TLKV discount code, and that is $100.50 more, or 34% more expensive than if you were to go through the challenge route and get funded in 1 month. So if it's going to take you 30 days, not more than that, instant sim funded account will be more expensive. Okay, I hope we understand that by this time of the video. Now, if it takes 2 months, then the $150,000 straight funded account will be $49 or 12% cheaper. But you're not wasting time on your challenge and you get a bigger drawdown, right? So basically, you don't have to make $9,000 to pass the elite challenge and then have to start with the sim funded account again from zero, right? So you can just start making profits that count toward your payout right away, right? You don't have to make that $9,000 for nothing. So you're paying $399 to have a $6,000 maximum drawdown. Okay, so that's 50x your money, basically right there. So I want to give you this example here as well, how it looks getting a $5,000 payout going through the Elite Challenge funded account versus an Instant Sim funded account. So going through the Elite Challenge, first you're going to have to make $9,000 from your challenge account to pass, which will take you, again, at least 1 day. If you make $9 grand in a day, you can pass it, you're good to go. Then on the funded account, you'll have to make $5,000 to withdraw a $5,000 payout. Okay, Top One Future does allow you to take 100% of your balance as long as you're fine with the accounting being closed, right? And that is the maximum per payout. So you'll need a minimum of 4 trading days of 1250 to meet the consistency target. You do have a 25% consistency target here that you have to meet. It will take you at least 4 days. So in total, to get a $5,000 payout, it'll take you 5 days and $14,000 in total profits, right? The $9,000 from the challenge and $5,000 on your funded account, with costs of $343.34. Okay, so $149.50 to buy the account, and then $44.85 if you want to get the anytime payouts, because we're talking about the most aggressive way, the quickest way to get that $5,000, plus $149 to activate the account, right? So this will be the quickest way you get a $5,000 payout, okay? With the anytime payout add-on as well, about $343 there. Now, let's say you go instant sim funded. The most aggressive route is to make $1,000 a day for 5 days, and boom, you're able to withdraw the $5,000 in profits. So in total, to get a $5,000 payout, it'll take you 5 days, so the same amount of days, but here only $5,000 in total profits. The cost will be $518.70, which $399 is to buy the account and $119 for the anytime payout add-on, right? So talking about price, you are paying a premium there. Number of days is the same, just less profits that you have to make. So which account is best for you, right? So are you willing to pay a premium for the instant sim funded accounts, right? To get a bigger drawdown, right? And not have to go through the challenge, not have to make that extra money on the challenge, and just have your profits start counting to your payouts right away? Or do you want to go through the challenge route, pay less if it takes you less than 30 days, right? Pay less because it's cheaper if it takes you a month, and have similar benefits, right? And actually better benefits when it comes to the consistent target. At the end of the day, the choice is completely yours. I just want to let you know that if you do like this type of content, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button, okay?